Welcome to episode 56 of Two Guys, One Sport. It is the beginning of a new age, the dawning of a new chapter. Some might call it the New Jersey period. I like to call it the golden years.
I approve. Yeah. Whatever we're talking about, I approve.
It's just that I'm in my new place. That's really all.
Your new cat-free place.
I actually like the cats. The cats were like the only thing I like about the place.
Their owners not so much, huh?
Yeah, that's another discussion for another time. But pardon the cavernous echo that you might be hearing right now because my living room is still pretty empty, and that means nothing to deaden the sound.
How about we have a moment of silence for the various police sirens that used to populate this show?
Yes. Moment of silence. All right, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that. Thank you.
So how you doing, man?
Dude, I'm great. Exactly 24 hours from now, I will be at WWN watching Graps in beautiful and exotic Harahan, Louisiana, with 150, 200 of my best friends who I don't even know yet. And that's what makes wrestling pretty great, is that you don't even know these people, but I'm going to make friends. I'm going to be in my Bruiser Brody t-shirt and my New Japan hoodie and my new Will Ospreay shirt that I'm buying when I'm down there because fuck you, state of Louisiana. And I'm going to make friends, and it's going to be great. And it's going to be 250, 300, 400, however many of them are in this building, and they're going to be my best friends for 4 hours. And then I'm going to go to Ring of Honor the next night, and there's going to be 6,000 people in that building, and they're all going to be my best friend for 4 hours. And then I'm going to go to Wrestlemania the night after that, and there's going to be 80,000 people in that building, and they're going to be my best friends for 8 hours. Because you know what, Chris? As much shit as we give professional wrestling, and we do,
rightfully so.
At the end of the day, it can be pretty awesome. So I am looking forward to this weekend, my friend.
Yeah, as well you should be. And of course, Matt, he's skipping the Hall of Fame.
I am skipping the Hall of Fame, Matt. I'm going to WWN instead. So
it's like, which would you rather see, a horrifying speech from Kid Rock or Keith Lee defend his title against Daisuke Sekimoto
and Riddle Ospreay?
I mean, I don't think there's much of a choice here.
No.
I'm just saying.
Now, if the Hall of Fame, I am bummed. I am missing Mark Henry.
Yes,
because Mark Henry is. In an industry full of scumbags, he is a legit good dude and woke as fuck and has been for a while. So I will always give him props. And Big Show, too.
Yes.
Fun story. You ready for this? My uncle's partner used to be Big Show's personal attorney.
Really?
Years when he was in WCW, he was his personal attorney. And he raves about the guy. He says even when he was young and wasn't famous, he still treated everybody super nice, and then he became famous and he kept treating everyone super nice. You hear stories all the time, people who get famous and they get too big for their shoes. You know, and he says when I met him at 20, he was just as nice as when he turned 30 and when he turned 40, and got much more famous and wealthy down the lines, but he never forgot who he was. So that's always
awesome.
Nice. Yeah,
that's really great.
I'm bummed I'm missing that like half hour between that and those two speeches are going to be pretty great. I'll have to watch them when I get back to the Airbnb we're staying at. But the rest of the Hall of Fame, I mean, whatever.
It's okay. The Dudley Boys. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I like Bill Goldberg, but I don't really need to listen to him give a speech.
No.
Who else is even going in the Hall of Fame?
Dudley Boys, Ivory.
That's true. Drunk Dean Ambrose would be cool to be in the building with.
Yes,
that is true. You're right there, Mr. Matt.
Yes. But I mean, are you really going to get to see that?
I mean, a little before my era. I'm not going to deny that she's a trailblazer, though. I would just be stupid.
God, I don't even know who else.
Let's see. Well, let's figure it out. 2018 WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Goldberg.
Hall of Fame. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man, it's one of those stupid frickin' slideshows. I got to click each time.
Oh, God, terrible.
All right, let's do this. Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
Where's the next button? Oh, go away, pop-up. I don't want you.
Where's your ad blocker, man? Come on.
Yeah.
Get with the times.
Hall of Fame. Oh, tickets start at $50. Yeah, no thanks. It doesn't even... Oh, here you go. You ready?
Yeah.
Bill Goldberg, the Dudley Boys, Ivory, Jeff Jarrett, who I want to talk about when we're done with this. I got words on Jeff Jarrett. Hillbilly Jim, Mark Henry, Kid Rock, and Warrior inductee award winner Jarius J.J. Robertson.
Right.
Who I don't know anything about one way or the other.
He's an okay dude. He's a pretty good guy.
Cool. But I mean, like, Mark Henry is pretty great. The rest of these is, you know. But Jeff Jarrett, you know what? Let's just do it now.
Okay.
I have a soft spot in my heart for anybody who is recovering from drug and alcohol abuse for various personal reasons. Not my own, but people in my life who've been affected by that. So I'm happy to see he was backstage at SmackDown because they were in Nashville. Looked great. Lost a lot of weight. Looked slim down. Was in good spirits. Hugged every AJ, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, you know, whomever. Everyone was there. He was hugging. Not Samoa Joe because he wasn't there, but everyone who was from his TNA Impact. You know, we give him a lot of shit for keeping himself strong all the time, and we give him a lot of shit for low TNA, and he is a big part of that. But don't forget, Chris, that your reigning, defending WWE champion was created by Jeff Jarrett. He kept, you know, walking into WrestleMania, 80,000 people. That man is a Jeff Jarrett creation. He kept Sting's career going when WCW folded. He took in Kurt Angle for good or for ill. You know, I mean, gave Kurt Angle hit rock bottom in TNA because he was enabled by Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle. But he did keep his career going, allowed the Hardys a place to go, and allowed them a place to flourish. Built Bobby Roode, gave Samoa Joe his first national exposure, gave Eric Young a platform, gave Jeremy Borash a platform, kept Booker T's career going. All those are guys that TNA's existence benefited, and most of those guys that WWE is now benefiting from. Dusty Rhodes was a big part of early TNA and an influence on Jeff Jarrett. Ric Flair was a big part of TNA when he was broke, and WWE wouldn't give him any more money, and Jeff Jarrett gave him a place to go. So I am happy that he is getting some sort of recognition. But most of all, I'm happy that a man who struggled with drug and alcohol addiction, has cleaned up, because a lot of people in this business don't clean up, and we're talking about lives cut short.
Yeah,
and I'm thrilled that he seems to be on a path to sobriety, and it's very tough to stay there. And I wish him nothing but the best. Now, all that being said, he probably shouldn't have put himself in the main event as often in TNA.
No,
but you know, like I'm happy. I can't be the normal cynic that I am. Like when a guy cleans himself up like
normal curmudgeonly self.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't. I hope he stays that way. I wish him nothing but success. And it was good to see him look good, speak well, lose weight, and just be happy that he was in wrestling. The guy grew up in the business. He's been doing in wrestling in some form or fashion since like the early 80s. So even in some small capacity with WWE, I am happy that he can keep contributing to this business, and I wish him nothing but a sober, happy, and healthy life going forward.
Absolutely.
So,
and on that note, let's get into the show proper, as we always do.
Sorry, Chris. I kind of wanted to just say that.
No. You're absolutely well said. And the only reason why I'm not adding anything to it is because, for one thing, I didn't really watch any of Jeff Jarrett's career. And for another thing, you basically put everything that I could have said into much better words than I could have said. So, yeah.
We could do hours and hours on how TNA fucked up, but they were the #2 promotion, and he gave a lot of guys a lot of chances. You know, so match of the week, Chris. What you got?
Matches of the week, and I'm going topical today too.
Sweet! I have the third of my trilogy.
Topical in only that we just talked about the Hall of Fame.
Oh, cool.
This is the second in the series of matches that I was considering discussing for your little homework assignment that you gave.
Oh, me. Yes. The first was Ibushi and Alexander from the Cruiserweight Classic.
That was the one I eventually settled on, but this was the first one I watched, and ultimately decided it was a bad idea for someone's first exposure to pro wrestling, and I'll get into why when we do it. But you recall that the same week that you gave us you gave me that homework assignment. That was the same night that Mark Henry was announced as being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I waxed poetic about my desire to go back and watch some of his stuff. And so you gave me that homework assignment, and I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's go watch Mark Henry's big World Heavyweight Championship title win. So we're going back now to Night of Champions 2011. Mark Henry versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I love this finish. I know this match. This finish is so awesome. I'll let you talk about it. I'm sorry, but I know I can picture this finish. The last like 3 minutes of this match in my head. And from 8 years or 7 years and 5,000 wrestling matches I've seen between then and now, and I still remember every fucking spot of the last like 4 minutes of this match.
Yeah. Now, here's the caveat to put out in front of that. The first like 90% of this match is not a good pro wrestling match because
no, I don't remember it, so it must not be.
The whole thing. We need to remember one very important thing. Mark Henry, world's strongest man, incredibly powerful guy, but still short, stocky, and close to 400 pounds at all times.
Yeah,
so he's not
a svelte man.
He does not move very quickly. So any match that he is in, pretty much every match that he is in, unless it's some sort of a tag match, slows to a crawl because that's the kind of pace he can maintain. That's what Mark Henry is. He is the slow and steady wins the race guy. So if you're looking for flash and fire, this is not the match for you. It also exposes a lot of the limitations that exist within Mark Henry, in that, you know, his moveset is all power. It's all hard hitting, all strikes, you know, which is great if you're a fan of that stuff. But if you want any sort of technicality, you're not getting any sort of technicality. This is not you know, Mark Henry is not like Keith Lee or Cassius Ohno, or in that he's a big man who can also do a lot of different things. Mark Henry is full speed ahead, which is a crawl, and just bulldoze anything in your way.
That's great. And I love when big dudes wrestle like big angry dudes.
Yeah,
it's refreshing. It's very throwback.
Yeah. Now that kind of thing works extremely well when Mark Henry's facing a guy like the Big Show, or even like Brock Lesnar, or somebody else who is big and also is, you know, like a bulldozer. Randy Orton is not a bulldozer. Randy Orton is a mid-sized kind of guy by WWE standards. He's
compared to Mark Henry.
Yeah. Compared to Mark Henry, Randy Orton's a mid-sized guy, and he is trying to work his normal style, because that's what Randy Orton does. He works his style and doesn't really adapt for anybody else, especially not in 2011 when he's struggling to keep himself relevant amidst John Cena, Triple H, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. So Randy Orton, holding the World Heavyweight Championship, walks into this match. And the whole story behind the match is that in the weeks leading up to Night of Champions, Mark Henry has just been annihilating Randy Orton at every turn. At every chance he can get, he'll ambush Randy Orton. He'll just come down in the middle of his matches and just attack him. You know, any chance that Mark Henry can get to hurt Randy Orton, he will hurt Randy Orton. So, and the one time Randy Orton tries to RKO Mark Henry just kind of throws him off. That's at the end, right? At the end of the match. That was a spot that actually happened in that week's Raw, either Raw or SmackDown, leading up to, I think it was SmackDown, and that week's SmackDown leading up to this match. Okay. So like the commentators the whole time were speculating, you know, will Randy Orton be able to hit the RKO? Because if he does, that could be the end of Mark Henry and the Hall of Pain. You know, what's going to happen? So the match starts out. Randy Orton comes out the gate, looking to use his speed and just going for quick strikes to try and keep Henry off balance, going for the legs a lot. And you know, eventually he does get Mark Henry down and starts going to work, only for Mark Henry to eventually just get right back up and like shrug it all off and just start his bulldozing. And he bulldozes for like 10 solid minutes of just beating the ever-loving shit out of Randy Orton. And it's effective. You definitely get the message that Mark Henry is a powerful, dangerous man. But it's like, eventually, the thought starts to cross your mind, okay, what else is going to happen here? What's next? The Great West Wingism. What's next?
Yep.
So then we get to that finish, which was an incredible finish where Randy is just trying everything in the book to make his comeback, and he eventually starts to get his comeback together. He hits the draping DDT at one point, and everybody is on their feet going crazy, thinking that this is going to be it. This is going to be the moment. And Mark Henry again just gets up and shrugs it off and just goes right back to work. And he hits the World's Strongest Slam on Orton, but Orton kicks out of it. So Henry just starts pummeling him, and Randy just crawls over to the corner. Mm-hmm. And Mark Henry is just like taunting him and yelling at the crowd, just being like dangerous monster Mark Henry that was 2011. And, yelling at the crowd and yelling at Randy and saying, "Is that the best you got? You never had a chance. You can never beat me." Randy finally gets his way back to his feet, and he's on his last legs. He's wobbling. He's just about ready to call it quits. But he, in his last act of defiance, goes for the RKO, turns around, grabs Mark Henry by the back of the head, and leaps into the air. And Mark Henry just shoves him away.
Loves it. With one hand. With one arm.
One hand.
Love it. Love the end of this match.
Randy turns around and walks right into a second World's Strongest Slam. 1, 2, 3. Mark Henry is your world heavyweight champion.
Awesome finish.
That was a fantastic finish to an otherwise not very memorable match. It, like I said, it worked for what it needed to do of showing that Mark Henry is just a dangerous, dangerous man, and you really have to come prepared if you're going to beat Mark Henry. And Randy Orton was not prepared.
No.
But
how do you prepare for that power, though?
Yeah.
Like,
the only way to prepare for it is if you can equal it, basically.
Mark Henry could have been one of the best power lifters in the history of American Olympic lifters if he chose to do that. Mm-hmm. Because at 23 or whenever he did the Olympics the first time, he was in the running. Mm-hmm. And weightlifting is a sport that you get better at when you get older as your body naturally fills out.
Yeah.
So 23-year-old Mark Henry was setting records. Imagine what 29-year-old Mark Henry would have done if he wasn't wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of just raw, freakishly strong men, like Mark Henry is in the upper echelon of people who of all time.
Yes.
Not wrestling all time. I mean, of all time.
Absolutely.
Just a gigantic man who just couldn't stay healthy, and he was booked like total and complete shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Because they tried to get him to quit, but homeboy wouldn't do it because he got a family to feed. God bless. Yeah. And he made the best of the dumb shit they gave him.
Yeah, first it was the ass end of the Nation of Domination, then it was fucking Sexual Chocolate, and just garbage after garbage after garbage.
Floating around in the mid card for a while, and but
and then finally the freaking Hall of Pain.
Yeah, which was great, and then he got hurt again.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to see the salmon jacket on.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, the salmon jacket on at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
The salmon jacket.
I hope he brings John Cena up and just fakes it again.
I would love it.
That was the best.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my match of the week.
I love the end. I don't remember anything else, so it must not be that great. But the end alone is worth it.
Yeah, not a great match, but definitely a great finish.
They can all be sunshines and rainbows,
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have a great match.
Go for it.
I've done 2 WrestleMania rematches so far. So obviously you know what's coming next, brother Chris.
Oh yeah.
We have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura from Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Which,
even though it was 2.5 years ago, given the seismic shifts in the wrestling landscape that happened the day of this show and the night after this show, with AJ being kicked out of New Japan by Kenny Omega, who moved up to heavyweight. Remember, he was a junior heavyweight on this show. I think he wrestled Naito.
No, he wrestled Kushida.
He wrestled Kushida. As a junior, when he was starving himself, to get below the weight limit, supposedly. And then he kicked Omega out and took the Bullet Club to a different level in terms of international notoriety, for good or for ill. Anderson and Gallows left, and Nakamura left later that month. Yeah. And that was a shot across the bow.
Anderson and Gallows actually were the last ones to leave. They stuck around for a little while longer, but they made their, they gave their notice. All four of them.
The day of the show.
Yeah, that immediately after the show, they all gave their notice.
So, Chris, once in a great while, I watched this match today on the train, and it was every bit as great as I remember.
Yeah.
Once in a great while, you're watching a wrestling match, you're like, oh, this is going to be fucking great, and it turns out to be fucking great. You know what I love about this match, besides everything? 0 wasted movements. Every single thing they did in this match mattered.
Mm-hmm.
AJ played possum with the back early, but then Nakamura went right after it, and AJ said, all right, screw that. And then he actually started to sell the back because he was actually hurt instead of playing possum. AJ goes for the calf, counters, eventually catches Nakamura on the calf slicer, now the calf crusher. Led to about 5 or 6 unbelievable reversals. These two so great together.
Yes.
Do you remember the calf slicer into the armbar, which AJ worked into a Styles Clash, but because he couldn't do the full-blown double arm Styles Clash, he only got a 2.5 count.
Yes.
The Styles Clash was the most protected move in New Japan. More than the high fly flow, more than the Rainmaker, more than the Destino, more than anything else was the Styles Clash. Guys did not get out of the Styles Clash.
Even more than the Bomaye.
Yeah. Guys did not get out of the Styles
Clash. Kinshasa.
But Nakamura did, because it wasn't a full-blown Styles Clash, because he had the arm hooked with the arm bar still.
Yep.
I mean, great stuff. Bloody Sunday, AJ fires up in a great callback to the match the year before, Wrestle Kingdom 9, a match that gets forgotten about because Nakamura Ibushi was so good, and the main event, Tanahashi Okada, was so good.
Mm-hmm.
But AJ wrestled Naito, and he won with a Styles Clash off the turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
Nakamura escapes. 2 vicious Boomayes fold AJ in half, and he just nails the shit out of these kicks.
Oh, yeah.
And it was over for the Intercontinental. I mean,
two
of the best in the world on the biggest stage. I mean, Chris, if this match had a flaw, point it out to me, man, because I didn't see it.
No, this match was amazing, but the one moment
the
one moment that always sticks out to me, and it's probably been addressed by everybody, and because it's easily.
By the way, this match free, NJPWorld.com.
Yeah.
So if you want to check it out, NJPWWorld.com for free.
Yes. That's free all this week. But the one moment of this match that will never leave me, easily one of the greatest character moments ever in all of wrestling. AJ does the Bullet Club, shoot the handgun at Nakamura.
And he catches it.
Nakamura grabs the bullet out of the air, eats it, and swallows it, and then does the "come on" thing at him. It's amazing to watch, like something that would, in any other situation, any other guys, any other Fed anywhere else in the world, would have been seen as corny as shit and total waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
But because
when you're as charismatic as Nakamura and AJ were, and are in AJ's case, Nakamura, we've talked about, is kind of floated in and out. It works.
But like for these two, like because it's these two, and because this match has the gravitas to make a moment like that seem incredible. Like they pulled it off. They made it something special.
If you're charismatic, it covers a lot of flaws. Like think of this, right, Chris? if Roman Reigns was not charismatic, the cock the fist thing would be stupid as fuck.
Yes.
It would. It just would. But it's not because he's not. Because he is. He is charismatic, therefore it works.
Yes.
Like, if Tetsuya Naito was not charismatic, him coming out in a tearaway suit would be hokey as shit.
Yeah.
Like, so I get what you're coming at.
The rest of LIJ adopting that in some form or fashion also would be dumb as shit too.
Contrast a guy who is not charismatic like Sonata with a guy who is like Hiromu. Imagine if Sonata had Daryl. It'd be stupid.
Yes.
But Hiromu makes it work.
Yeah. By contrast, Sonata has what works for him, which is the skull masks. And that works for him. Bushi comes out in the tearaway suits too. And even though he's wearing a friggin' lucha mask, it works for him because despite being a tiny guy, he still maintains some presence.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So all those things are great.
Yeah, it's wrestling 101, right? It's not even, it's life 101.
Yeah.
You know, if you're charismatic, you can do a lot of cool shit that non-charismatic people cannot do.
Exactly.
Like nail karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about? Should I blitz through Sakura Genesis real fast?
Yeah, let's just blow right through this.
I'll be quick. Like, I know you didn't see this. I saw 4 matches.
Yeah, like the whole like.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it.
I swear to God, next week I'm going to get caught up on so many things.
There's like 75 matches between like yesterday and Sunday, or 75 shows between yesterday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No, not even that. I'm just talking like the things I've missed while during the past month of like moving, like New Japan, with Strong Style Evolved and Sakura Genesis.
Oh my God, you got to watch that main event, dude.
So many things in Stardom that I've missed as well too. It's like there's so much stuff.
The main event of Strong Style Evolved is just. I mean, it's just something else. You need to watch it.
Absolutely.
Get comfy. It's long, real long.
Oh yeah. I know. But it's worth the watch for sure.
Speaking of the Bucks, they were in the opener here. It was the Young Bucks versus Yujiro and Chase Owens.
Yes.
In a minor Bullet Club explodes thing. Chase Owens is like the kid caught in the middle of the divorce. He doesn't know which side to go with. Yeah. And Yujiro is like the drunk uncle who doesn't give a fuck. They do a little backstage. Did you watch Being the Elite last couple ones?
Oh,
there was one where they do a backstage, right? And it's the Bucks and Yujiro and Chase. Mm-hmm. And the Bucks are like, guys, Matt's hurt. Take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Yujiro's like, let's fuck these guys up. and Owens is like, what? And he's like, let's fuck them up. The match was fine. Whatever. I mean, it's a Young Bucks opener. It's like a 3.5-star match that, perfectly fine. So, let's get to the good shit. Yeah, it's fine. It was a good match. When you're watching your shit, when you watch this show, watch it. It's like 12 minutes. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Matt and Nick continue their great character work. Nick Jackson being the workhorse of the team while Matt sells the back is a story that never gets old.
Mm.
So
I know you're loving that.
I love it.
I'm definitely coming into it as well.
Watch Strong Style Evolve, and you will see what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, I never want to hear again how the Young Bucks don't do psychology. I don't. We talked about that last week. I don't want to hear that again after this. After the run they've been on since the Dome, in multiple promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and these dumbasses are wrestling a ladder match on Saturday night. It's the Bucks and Flip Gordon versus who the hell is it?
The Addiction and Scorpio.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah, and a ladder match for a six-way ladder match.
The six-man tag titles.
Tag titles. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. So, which is going to be, it could be like the match of the weekend if these 6 guys don't kill themselves in the process, or even if they do. So.
Speaking of 6-man titles, did you watch the Never Openweight 6-man?
No, I did not. Okay. I watched this match.
Good.
And then I watched. I'm good. And then I watched Marty. Setting aside Elgin for a second, I'm done with Ryusuke Taguchi.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm done with him too.
It's just like.
If
you're gonna be, I am a simple man, Chris. If you're gonna be offensive, at least be funny.
Yeah.
Like George Carlin or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Taguchi's gimmick is not funny.
The gimmick's 5 years dead.
I'm glad that they dropped the.
Yeah, they got rid of it. Now he's just random mid-card old guy.
Yeah,
who uses his butt to attack things, which whatever.
Yeah.
So I did not watch I did not watch that match, but I did watch Marty Scurll and Will Ospreay, and good God, man. You know, the whole story of this match is that Ospreay beats the shit out of Scurll beats the shit out of Ospreay all over the world. That no matter what, that his technical prowess can beat Ospreay's high flying ability.
I'm still shocked that people associate technical prowess with Marty Scurll, but you know what? Whatever.
I mean,
it is what it is.
Yeah, but like, so they start with some holds and they do some grapple fuck early. Here's when this match gets good. So Scurll goes to the outside, and you know how Ospreay does that thing where he does the little handstand and he does his little Spider-Man pose in the middle of the ring and everyone pops.
Yep.
So I
saw this clip. I saw the clip.
He does the little handstand thing, and then Scurll grabs him by the hands from the outside, and he's trying to break his fingers because he's got Will scouted out so well. More back and forth. Lots of kicks to the head. Sells the neck. Will sells the neck as he runs the ropes, which makes me so happy. You know I love selling on offense, Chris. So like Will runs the ropes and he slows down because his neck hurts and the whiplash of bouncing off the ropes hurts his neck.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yes. I'm very happy.
Perfect stuff.
So good.
Fun
stuff. Scurll with a torture rack straight out of the Lex Luger school, and then drops him head first on the turnbuckle. Lots of stuff on the neck. The Orton DDT, the Orton Jado draping DDT. Catches a Hurricane Rana attempt. Will tries to go for Hurricane Rana, and then into a slingshot on the bottom rope. And Will's flopping like a dead fish. He's dying. Not a lot of screaming, thank God. I hate the screaming. So we did keep the screaming to a minimum, which is good. Because Will, I don't need guys shrieking on my television. I'm good. No. Ospreay's selling was unbelievable. But he still managed to do what he does best, and that's fight back with a flourish.
When did he get busted open though?
Right around here.
Okay.
So let's talk about what happened next. Marty skins the cat. Okay, so Will throws Marty outside. Marty skins the cat. Will tumbles over the outside, but they're still connected. Marty regains his feet, hits a tombstone outside.
Fuck.
Ref starts the count. Will's dead. Will ain't moving. He's not moving, right? Bad neck, tombstone. Okay. Ref starts the count. Marty says, no, I want to pin him. Throws Will into the ring to get a very close 2. A very close 3, but he gets the 2. Will counters a clothesline into a powerbomb because he's Will Ospreay. Yeah. And I can't even explain how he did this. So Marty goes for the clothesline and Will catches him by the arm like he's Zack Sabre trying to throw an armbar.
Yeah.
But then he flips around like his body 3 times, lands on his feet, and hits a powerbomb.
I'm visualizing it in my head.
I can't even do it justice, man. It's just the crazy shit that Will Ospreay does in his comebacks. You know it. Yeah. Where just because everything is with a flourish with this guy, and everything is you know who he is? Do you remember? Do you know your Marvel universe, your X-Men universe? He's the fucking juggernaut. He's best when he's moving, and when he's moving, you can't stop him.
Yes.
But when he stands still, you can beat him. But if he's moving, you can't beat him.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay, the 140-pound juggernaut.
Yeah. Don't you know who I am? I'm the juggernaut.
Exactly. Like when he's moving, he just gets all that momentum, and you're done.
Can't stop him.
So they get to the apron. Here's the Spanish fly. They get to the apron. Will bounces off the turnbuckle in midair, and he does a one-man standing Spanish fly to the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do this. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do this if you bounce your head off the mat. Will's busted open, or it's the world's worst gig job. One of the two. He's bleeding like a stuck pig. Blood's dripping all over him. He's crawling back into the ring because he doesn't want the doctor to see it. He's holding his arm. He's holding the blood with his arm with one hand while he's crawling into the ring with the other hand because he figures once I'm in the ring, the doctor can't see that I'm bleeding everywhere. And then the match will go on. So he gets back into the match. More back and forth, gets his comeback. Will does a beautiful Phoenix splash. Does that thing where he does the shooting star press to the draping ropes. Will's bleeding. He's bleeding everywhere. I mean, he's bleeding all over the place. His hair is red, like Ric Flair circa 1987. You know, like it's a thing of beauty. I love accidental blood. You know, it adds a little sense of importance to a match.
Or you're just a sadist.
Yeah, that too. More big spots. We're in the go-home phase. Big spot, big spot. Crowd's finally alive. We get an Ospreay whoop, whoop chant as the crowd's behind both these guys. They're beating the shit out of each other. They're back and forth. Will breaks out of the chicken wing with his long-ass legs. And it's a great visual because he's got the blood flowing down his face and he's trying to fight back, but he gets the rope with the legs. Hits a turnbuckle corner ox cutter. Runs into the ropes on a 90-degree angle. Walks the ropes into the turnbuckle for the ox cutter for the win. 4.5 to 4 3/4 star match. I love this match. It's great. Will Ospreay is great. Marty Scurll's great. Will, you're a fucking nut job. Yeah. And I love you. And I'm going to see you tomorrow night against Matt Riddle. I'm going to buy one of your shirts. But, dude, you're going to be in a wheelchair in the next, 5 years if you don't stop with this shit.
Yeah. Then again, I mean, we were saying that 2 years ago after he and Ricochet had their first match against each other.
I thought grapple fuck Will Ospreay against Okada would be the wave of the future.
Nah.
Match was slow.
Brah.
This is the most terrifying match I've seen in a long time. It was halfway through Will Ospreay was decided to make it his retirement match. Didn't tell anybody. Dude, stop landing on your head. You're 25.
Oh yeah. No, what are you doing? I mean,
well,
not to sound like,
dude. Come on.
Not to sound like an asshole here, but I mean, Will, your girlfriend is the one who survived brain cancer here. Let's not add you to the list of head trauma in this relationship.
I know your hero is the Dynamite Kid, but you don't need to emulate the part where he spends the rest of his life in a wheelchair.
Yeah, really.
Come on, man.
That is not how this works.
Match was awesome. Loved it. 4.5, 4 to 4 3/4 in that range. 4.6. If I was being cheeky,
yes,
pun intended. So next we have the Golden Lovers versus Cody and Hangman Page. Chris, I have come 180 degrees on Cody Rhodes in the past 6 months. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
his in-ring work is adequate unless he's with great workers. Well, last time I checked, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi are great workers.
Yes.
So it was fine. Speaking of accidental blood, Cody busted his head open, and he was bleeding halfway on his face.
Oh, Jesus.
So someone on Twitter pointed out the two-face visual because half his face was covered in red and half his face was covered in not red. So he looked like Aaron Eckhart in Batman in The Dark Knight. It was a great visual because he's a two-faced bastard. As we talked about being the elite and on Ring of Honor. So he had the blood on half his face and not in the other half of his face.
Yes.
You know why Cody Rhodes is great? Because he actually wants to be booed. He has no interest in being the cool heel. He wants to be the ultimate dickbag heel that you want to punch in the face. And I think the short hair helps him be the dickbag heel because he's got a real douchey haircut right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I don't remember who pointed it out.
1999 Slim Shady haircut.
He looks like the bad guy in an 80s teen rom-com. Like the jock villain in Can't Buy Me Love or something. Like in Can't Buy Me Love where Patrick Dempsey's dating the cheerleader and her boyfriend is in Iowa or something. That's what Cody looks like. Yeah. It's great. He don't care. He has no interest in being cheered, so he's booed. He's getting over. And they won. And they probably should have won, Cody and Hangman. This may be my favorite Cody Rhodes match, to be honest.
Fair.
I mean, my favorite New Japan, I liked it more than the Okada match from last year because it didn't involve as much stupid acting shit. So he held his own. He's getting better. And the character work he's got on point. And if he's in there with someone who's a superstar, he can become a superstar. Cody Rhodes is one. He will seek at the level of the container that you put him in.
Yep.
If you put him in there with someone who's great, he'll have a great match. Kota Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom. Kazuchika last year. If you put him in there with someone who's not great, Matt Taven, you will not have a great match.
Yeah.
Is he ever going to be a top 50 worker in the world? No. But guy's a draw, and he's over, and people hate him. And I think, doesn't that matter more sometimes than whether or not you're a crisp, flippy boy?
Yes, absolutely.
So, name of the game, man. Wrestling's been on for 100 years. For 100 years, it's paid money to watch this guy get the shit kicked out of him. And I find it sort of not ironic, but ironic in the sense of that Alanis Morissette improperly used the word ironic in that song from 20 years ago. That the son of the babyest babyface who ever babyfaced is wrestling's most hated heel right now.
Yeah.
So, makes me happy. Main event.
Oh, yeah.
This match was good.
Yeah.
I went, I don't know, 3 3/4. Good match.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it.
I expected you to go a lot higher.
Maybe 4. In that ballpark. My star rankings are kind of fluid.
Yes, that they are.
3 3/4 to 4 in that vein. Next, we had a match that I loved. Went 4.5. Kazuchika versus Zack Sabre.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like 3 3/4 for the main.
No. 3 3/4 for the semi-main. The Golden Lovers versus. No, 3 3/4 for the Golden Lovers versus Hangman and Cody.
Right.
The main I went 4.5 flat.
Okay.
And the first 10 minutes of this match, there were no bumps. So if you do not like the grapple fuck, Chris, this is not your match. So Zack Sabre's doing his wacky ass Zack Sabre shit. But Kazuchika is doing like these cool lucha submissions too.
Nice.
Why? Because why not?
Because he's fucking Kazuchika and he knows literally everything.
He can do what he wants. Apparently he trained with Negro Navarro on Excursion. So he's doing like these fuck.
That's a fucking name. Holy shit.
Yeah. 85-year-old Negro Navarro taught him how to do these wacky ass bow and arrow lucha submissions.
That's fucking amazing.
There were literally no bumps for 10 minutes. I watched this match on the treadmill. So I watched this match at the treadmill Sunday morning, so I had the little timer gimmick. And it was like 33 minutes. And for the first 9 minutes, nobody took a bump. It was just wacky submission until Okada did that flying uppercut thing that he does.
Yeah.
The match kicked up. Zack Sabre had an answer for everything Okada threw his way. But eventually, the better man won. The story of this match was that as long as Zack Sabre wrestled his match, Okada would lose. Because nobody is better in the world at wrestling his match than Sabre is.
Yeah.
But Okada challenged him. Challenged his pride. And he challenged his manhood by trying to get into striking exchanges. And come on, hit me with the uppercuts. And that's not Sabre's game. He took him out of his game. Okada trash-talked his way to retaining the belt. Because once he took Sabre out of his game, it was all of a sudden Okada's game. And Zack Sabre's real great, but he's not good enough to beat Okada at Okada's game.
Nobody's good enough to beat Okada's game, let's be honest.
2 things about this match that I loved, and you will jump out of your chair when you see. Sabre caught the drop kick in midair and hit an STFU in one motion. And yes, it was better than any John Cena STFU has ever been. But that's neither here nor there. In one motion, he caught one leg, flipped him on his stomach, and hit him with an STFU. 2 callbacks. Chris, pop quiz. What's the one time Kazuchika has submitted in a New Japan match? If you don't know, it's okay.
But
what's the one time Kazuchika has tapped out in a singles match? I mean, I don't know about tag matches. In a big-time singles match, when he was the champion, he tapped out to a flying armbar that Shinsuke Nakamura gave him about 4 years ago.
Wow.
So, Okada went for the Rainmaker. Sabre caught his arm and hit him with a flying armbar. The exact same way Nakamura did. Only Okada was a little too close to the ropes, and he got those giant-ass tree trunk legs to the ropes.
Yep.
And Sabre pounds the mat in frustration because he knew that was his shot. But because he's Zack Sabre and he's cool, calm, and collected, he went right back to working the arm. So he hits the first Rainmaker.
Damn it, how did you know that was my only weakness?
That was pretty much. Sabre, you blink and you'll miss it. He slaps the mat. Like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like he had set up the entire match for that one spot.
Yeah.
Baited him in, hit him with the armbar, and that was it. Like, son of a bitch. That was my like in baseball, when the guy just misses the perfect fastball and he gets the warning track and he throws the bat down as he runs to first base. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was my fucking pitch. Damn it. That same reaction. Okada hits the first Rainmaker. Now, you know how normally when you hit a Rainmaker, the guy takes that super exaggerated flippy-do bump? Sabre just fell backwards because the arm was weak.
Yep.
Okada sold the arm. He tries to hit a Rainmaker with the left arm, and Sabre just shrugs it off because he's not left-handed. He's not Dino Montoya.
Yeah.
2 more Rainmakers with his bad arm took to beat Zack Sabre Jr. It took 3 Rainmakers to beat Zack Sabre Jr. in a 31-minute match. I saw people on Twitter say, oh, this is like low Cena wins. Guys, I said this a month ago. Zack is a made man.
Yep.
It does not normally take 3 Rainmakers to beat, quote, mid-carders. How many does it take to beat Bad Luck Fale? Right?
4, I think.
Like, made men. Zack is a made man. Took 3 Rainmakers to beat Tetsuya Naito in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. Yep. The exact same number of Rainmakers took to beat Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Chris, Zack's going to make a little bit of noise in the G1. He's going to make a lot of noise. Zack's going to make some noise. And I would not be surprised if he beats Okada again to set up a match at King of Pro Wrestling in October.
Or even Power Struggle in November.
Or Power Struggle. Oh, yeah, Power Struggle. One of the two. October, November, the kind of the dead period. You know what I'm saying?
And
Zack's a made man. He's got his button.
Let's also not forget about what's to come here, because we're on the road now to Dominion in June. But in between now and Dominion, we've got quite a lot of stuff happening.
And I have a bold prediction.
Well, we got Wrestling Hinokuni at the end of April, and then we've got 2 nights of Wrestling Dontaku at the beginning of May.
Yes.
Among the matches that they've already revealed the cards for these. Among the matches that are scheduled to happen, the main event of Wrestling Hinokuni is Minoru Suzuki versus Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. And I would not be surprised if we see Naito win that belt back, only to then lose it to Zack Sabre Jr.
Here's my bold prediction.
Okay.
Suzuki beats Naito. They have no problem pitting Naito, and Naito is still over. Submitting Naito.
Yes, this is true.
Okada retains the IWGP over Tanahashi.
Yes, that is the main event of Wrestling Dontaku Night 2, Tanahashi versus Okada. That is the night. Is that the night of the record?
Yes. If Okada wins, he will break the record. He is tied. 11 is the record, and he is at 11, and Tanahashi is at 11 defenses. This is defense number 12.
And isn't it also isn't there another record also, like the consecutive days? Or
I think this is the only major record that Okada does not hold is the defenses. Chris, I can't tell you how excited I am that we're getting another Tanahashi Okada match. Because the first 15 have been so good. But let me tell you my hot take.
Okada already does hold the most combined days, but yes.
This is it. So, Dontaku Night 1, Suzuki beats Naito.
Mm-hmm.
Dontaku Night 2, Okada beats Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm.
Dominion, double title match. Okada versus Suzuki. Each man puts their belt on the line. 60-minute draw. 60-minute Broadway. That's my prediction.
Mm.
The double title match. Each man puts their belt on the line against the other. 60-minute Broadway, and then right into the G1 4 weeks later.
That's interesting.
That's my prediction. Mulling it over on the train a couple days ago.
Very interesting.
So, but let's
before we depart that though.
Yeah, let's keep that in the back of your brain for a little bit, ladies and gents.
There are some other things here.
I love wrestling. I'm in such a great fucking mood, man. I love professional wrestling.
There's some other things here to note though.
Sure.
So, Wrestling Hinokuni, one of the matches we have scheduled is Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi teaming with Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi versus Taichi Takamichinoku, Takeshi Iizuka, and Zack Sabre Jr. of
I like Ibushi as like the honor tagging with the Bullet Club undercard people.
Mm-hmm. And Kenny.
And Kenny. Well, yeah,
but it gets
it's like when you go back to school and you have your friend who's transferred into the school that you know from like summer camp, and it's like, hey, hang out with me and all my circle of friends from school, new guy, and like they all try to like get along and be friendly.
Yes,
like that.
It gets more interesting though. Night 1 of Wrestling Dontaku.
Okay,
3 matches to pay attention to. The main event is Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega.
Really?
The semi-main event is Cody Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi.
Oh yeah, that makes me happy. We're getting Kota Ibushi and Hangman Page at Ring of Honor Saturday. And in
the mid card, nestled among a bunch of otherwise meaningless tags.
Nothing is meaningless, man.
Well,
go on.
Nestled amongst a number of other multi-person tag matches. Bad Luck Fale and Tamatanga and Tangaloa will be defending the never-open 6-man tag team championships against Marty Scurll, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson.
Oh, man.
And then, as if that wasn't enough,
everything has a reason, man.
The next night, Wrestling Dontaku Night 2. Third from the top of the card. The main event is Tanahashi Okada. The semi-main is Kushida versus Will Ospreay for the junior title.
Okay, which will be excellent. They set that up after the Ospreay beat Scurll match because Kushida was on commentary.
Third from the top. Bad Luck Fale, Tamatanga, Tangaroa, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi.
Oh my gosh.
Versus Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page, Marty Scurll, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. Bullet Club implodes. I said it.
Okay.
I said it was going to happen. And
here's a thing for you. Let's segue to WrestleMania weekend. I think Cody Rhodes is winning this match on Saturday.
Against
Kenny Omega. I think he's winning this match.
I think Kenny's winning, but
I think Cody. If Cody wins, it will not be clean. Heels as dirty as Cody don't win matches this big clean, and they should. But I think there's going to be. I think it's going to be Team Cody stands tall. Is going to close the show.
See, I feel like either way.
I think there's a little more opportunity for growth if Cody wins this match.
But here's the thing, though. Either way, regardless of who wins, this is that match at the end of Supercard of Honor is going to be the line in the sand moment, where you have to pick your side.
Yep.
Either you're with Kenny or you're with Cody.
See, Cody has said on Being the Elite that this match is it. It's like a sibling rivalry, then Bullet Club is fine. It's like two brothers fighting in the backyard, and then they get up and they get it out of their system, and then they go back and they play together. Yeah. Or like the proverbial two guys get into a bar fight and they sit next to each other and have beer.
Yeah, we all know that's
not the catastrophe is far too deep.
Mm-hmm.
So
we all know.
Supercard of Honor looks pretty freaking great. We talked about it last week.
Yes.
We got WrestleMania to talk about. We can talk about all this.
We got TakeOver and WrestleMania to talk about. But I just wanted to throw that out there because
I'm glad you did.
This Bullet Club saga is not going anywhere, and I am enjoying the hell out of the slow build for it. So.
Yeah. Speaking of things I am enjoying, on aggregate, I am enjoying the build of this WrestleMania. I did not think I would a month ago, and you can play back the show from a month ago, but the build of this WrestleMania, especially the matches that matter, I have thoroughly gotten into.
Yes.
But let's talk TakeOver.
Yes, we'll start with TakeOver. We're talking only title matches because we've already covered the non-title matches, so we're only talking title matches.
Yep.
We're going to start with the triple threat tag team match for the tag team championships, and also now the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic trophy. So this week on NXT was supposed to be the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, where the Authors of Pain faced Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne, and the winner wins the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and goes on to face the Undisputed Era at TakeOver New Orleans. Excuse me. This was also the week when they finally got around to writing Bobby Fish out of that match.
Bad knee, right?
Yes, he is going in for surgery on his ACL. So
that sucks.
Well, this is very interesting. So what happened here is Authors Payne and Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne were in the middle of having an amazing match. And at one point, they all are fucking down. They're all down. It's that proverbial moment where everybody's hit their like last gasp move and everybody's dead.
Nice.
And what should happen? But Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole come down to the ring and start beating both teams down. Huh. Because their thought is, if they beat down both teams, there's no winner. Therefore, the tag team belts don't have to be defended at TakeOver, and they get a free pass for Fish being on the injured reserve.
That's such wrestling heel troll logic. I love it. I love it.
Gotta love how these guys just.
I love the troll logic that is wrestling heels. I love it.
You gotta love how these guys have no idea just how crafty they have to be to outcraft William Regal, who is the craftiest man ever.
Troll logic. It makes me happy.
So Regal comes out and congratulates them on their ingenuity for thinking that they would manage to avoid the title defense. However, what they decided instead was, what Regal said instead was, they're just going to make it a triple threat, and the Undisputed Era has to defend against both teams, and whoever wins gets both the title and the Dusty Classic trophy. Now, this presents an interesting situation because Adam Cole is also scheduled to be part of the ladder match for the inaugural NXT North American Championship.
Which should be a barn burner.
So how is he supposed to compete in both matches? Well, basically, he has a choice. Either Cole withdraws himself from the ladder match and competes in the tag title match. Cole leaves Kyle O'Reilly to fend for himself in the triple threat and fights in the ladder match, or Cole fights in both matches. His choice, and that's the only options they have. So they've officially taken the option off the table of introducing a fourth member to the Undisputed Era. They've taken that option off the table officially now.
Okay.
So here we are. This should be a hell of a match. Regardless,
the ladder match or the tag match?
The tag match.
Okay.
Strong and Dunn as a tag team has been electrifying. You need to get caught up on NXT and watch the tag matches that these.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna try to watch a few hours on the plane.
The tag matches that these two guys have had. They started off against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, who are incredible in their own right. Then they faced Eric Young and Alexander Wolf of Sanity, and then they faced the Authors of Pain in the finals. Dunn and Strong have been insanely good.
We've talked about before, but the WWE Tag Team division is. I would put the WWE Tag Team division, and I'm including NXT, and I'm including Raw and SmackDown, on par with any division in any company in the world.
Yes.
I would put it right there in that echelon with any division in the world and any company in the world. It's that good.
Yeah. And Authors of Pain, I've said as many good things.
Unbelievable, Chris.
I've said as many good things as there are to say about these guys, and they still are just amazing every time I watch them. Love these guys. Love these kids. These two guys who are still kids, who are still in their 20s, are incredible. Love it. And then you add in Undisputed Era to the mix. I mean, it says something. It says a lot when Adam Cole is once again the weakest worker in the match. And Adam Cole is definitely not like. I mean, he's nothing to write home about, but he certainly is no freaking Adam Rose. He definitely delivers when it counts. So, regardless of whether Cole leaves O'Reilly to the Wolves or decides to compete in both, either way, this match is going to be awesome. If for nothing else than just being a rematch between AOP and Dunn and Strong, because that match before it got fucked was amazing to watch. You ever think you'd see Roddy Strong pick someone up and flip them over to Pete Dunne for a bitter end?
No, but I wish I had.
Never mind somebody as big as fucking Akam.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
So, back in 2008, there was a random-ass match on Raw where it was Cena and Orton versus the entire roster.
I remember that, yes.
There's a spot in this match involving Cody Rhodes
Mm-hmm.
where Cena he's holding him in front of him, and Rhodes, and he just throws Cody Rhodes up in the air right into an RKO.
Nice.
My favorite random spot I've ever seen. For 10 years, I've been pining for a John Cena, Randy Orton tag team just to recreate this spot. Of holding him not on his shoulders, but holding him in front of him.
Yep.
Like you would carry like a couch like in front of you.
Yep.
And then he just lifts his arms. Cody flies into the air. And as he comes down, Orton jumps and hits him with an RKO. That's an awesome spot.
That sounds fantastic.
That's what it sounds like you're describing here.
Yeah, it's essentially like a similar kind of thing. It's like Roddy lifts him up like he's going for the pendulum backbreaker, except he just tosses him to the side where Dunn is waiting and just flips him in midair right into the bitter end.
Sure.
And especially for a guy like those two guys who are both 205 and under, for around 200, 205, to be flipping a guy who is Akam size, who is 285, like that is just...
You know what I love about Akam and Razor? Well, besides everything. Yeah. They are way more nimble than guys that big should be.
Yes.
It is almost Lesnarian how light on their feet they are. Maybe it's the MMA training.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Maybe it is to be that agile and to be that to when you watch them wrestle. And I've noticed this recently. They stand on the balls of their feet like shoot fighters do, and because of that, they're able to just pivot and twist their hips and their ankles and their knees and dart in and out of stuff. It's a thing of beauty how freakishly athletic these two guys are.
Oh yeah,
especially for big dudes.
Yeah,
but they're so agile. It's like whoa. People that big aren't supposed to move that quickly.
Yeah, they've said that on the main roster about guys like Lesnar and Strowman, and it's like that scary speed.
Did you see that video I sent you earlier today? Lesnar's knockouts from like 5 minutes. Lesnar just shooting it on guys and just taking them down.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's basically we've talked a little bit about this last night, but it's like when you're that agile and that big, it's like you're playing with a cheat code. Like you've won the cheat code of life. The game genie is on.
Mm-hmm.
And Akam and Razor, I fully expect it's almost getting to the point where if these two aren't the best tag team in the world in the next 5 years, something bad has happened.
Yeah.
Like something very bad has happened. Like one of them has blown an knee out, God forbid.
Yeah.
Or done too much cocaine or something. or both, because it's not mutually exclusive. But to be as young as they are and as polished as they are, and as good at the little things as they are, they're it.
Let's consider this also. And I want to move on, but I just want to consider this real quick. Less than 2 years ago, it was less than 2 years ago when these two came out of the crowd and attacked Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, and literally everybody was saying, "Oh my God, these guys are going to be awful. These guys are too green. These guys don't have what it takes."
And they were at the time, and then they got better.
And not 24 months later, less than 24 months later, these two guys are easily one of the top 5 best tag teams in the whole company, without fail. And there are some fucking great tag teams in this company.
This is like the golden age of WWE tag teams right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like just the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My dad is texting me. He wants the Usos to go on Raw so he can watch them every week. My dad only watches Raw Tuesdays. He's not as home as often.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, please put the Usos and AJ on Raw so I can watch them every week.
I would love for that to happen. If for nothing else, then we could get Usos as badass backup for Roman.
Yeah. No, Dad says AJ for Seth, Usos for the club. I said, okay, sure, why not? His big question.
I'd say Usos for Revival because the Revival needs something better to do. But either way,
kind of floating around.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about this in a little bit. But I don't know. Well, let's finish NXT. Then I'll ask you. Let's finish NXT.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's move on to the other match that Adam Cole is supposed to be in. And Tanya, by the way, good idea. We need to get a DNA test done to prove that Adam Cole is not HBK Jr. because it's a freakish resemblance.
Adam Cole wishes he was as good a wrestler as pre-back injury HBK. And I guess post-back injury HBK.
Yeah, but the resemblance is scary.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that Bruce Willis movie, Looper, where he meets like his old self at the diner or something, some weird time travel shit?
Yep.
Like 3-4 years ago, it's like that. You know, Adam Cole was sent back in time by the past to stop old man Shawn Michaels, who is him.
Yep. So here we go. NXT North American Championship ladder match. Adam Cole, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Velveteen Dream, and Ricochet.
I think Velveteen Dream wins this one, by the way.
These are the debut match for both EC3 and Ricochet in their current personas. It's incredible to think that these two guys are in the company.
Yeah,
it's Ricochet, a dude I never it was obviously the worst kept secret for the very long time that Ricochet wanted to be in WWE and was working towards it, but like the thing that it's actually finally here and like his first fucking match they let him do a 630 was insane.
It's Triple H's vanity indie fed is quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite nice.
Yes, Madeline. Yes, real quick. Fans writing wrestlers off really quickly is dumb as hell. That is absolutely correct. Give people time to prove themselves, especially when they're young guys like AOP are. But yes, anyway, continue.
When they're that young, absolutely. Or Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
No.
Same thing for Velveteen Dream.
I think Velveteen Dream wins this match, by the way.
I think
ladder match means you could protect everybody. No one's taking a fall.
Yeah.
So,
there are cases to be made for a lot of people. I think that it's most likely that either Dream or EC3 wins it. But I also could also see Ricochet winning it if they want a face to be the first guy to hold the title. And if they want to make Ricochet seem like a big deal, they might give it to him.
I think Velveteen Dream is over enough that it doesn't matter that he's, quote, not a face.
Yeah, that's true also.
This is a great way to give him the strap without diminishing anybody.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I think Dream is the guy here.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be opposed to it. He certainly has proven his mettle. He's got value. He's got a lot of value.
Funny thing about takeovers, man. The last 3 or 4 have not had great cards on paper, but they've all been awesome.
Yeah.
This one has a great card on paper, and will probably still be really awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of really awesome. Probably the most the most underhyped match on the card, and will still be fucking amazing. Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the women's championship.
My girl.
I think your girl wins it here too.
Yeah.
I hate saying that.
So pissed I'm not going to be in the building for that.
I hate saying
my girl, Chris. She's awesome.
I know she is. I hate saying it though because Ember has they've done shit all with Ember as the championship.
This championship reign for Ember has been just a disaster. And none of it's been her fault. And none of it has been her fault. Well,
no, not at all.
Very little of it has been her fault. Very little.
Here's the problem.
10% of the fact that this championship reign sucks has been Ember Moon's fault.
Here's the problem. And the problem is 2 parts of a whole. First of all, I know they wanted to make Shayna a big deal, but they shouldn't have put her in the title scene right away. I get that she's kind of up there in years.
Yeah, so what?
Versus what most traditional women's wrestlers are, but she's still in great fucking shape for someone.
She's not traditional. That's part of her fun.
Yeah, she's an MMA fighter. She's not a wrestler, so she doesn't have the miles on her. Even though she's 37,
there's nothing wrong with beating the shit out of jobbers.
Yeah,
I wish we got more jobbers.
Yeah,
I wish Raw was like, 3 jobber matches and a cool main event.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, why the fuck not?
Exactly. And
jobber matches are awesome. Like, did you see SmackDown where it was like a 6-man tag team match with all the geeks from the fucking Battle Royal?
Yes. All the guys who should be jobbers.
Yeah, with like the jobbers. Who are jobbers, only not jobbers. You know, it was like Fandango and like Primo were like tagging up, and it was just like 6 dweebs who nobody gives a shit about, right?
Yeah.
You can't tell me you would rather watch that than like Nakamura beating the shit out of some jobber, or Rusev killing the jobber, or whomever killing the jobber. You can't tell me you'd rather watch fucking 6-man tag matches between guys who are going nowhere over stars killing a jobber. I'll always watch stars kill the jobber, and that's what Shayna should have just demolished.
Yeah,
they have all these women in the Performance Center.
Yeah, they should
all these fucking 40 women in the Performance Center. Shayna should have killed them once a week like she's Bill Goldberg.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Send them out there one at a time. Just have her, line them up and send them out, and then bring them right back.
Why are we hot-shotting this shit?
And the other half of the problem, besides Shayna being hot-shotted right into the title season, one half of the problem. The other half of the problem is that they took all of the credible challengers that they could have given to Ember and sent them up to the main roster in one fell swoop, because we had to have 2 stables to fight against the
we're both going nowhere.
Yeah, against the main event women
who in 6 months' time are both going nowhere.
Exactly. If you had kept Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and even a heel turned Ruby Riott down in NXT to be challengers to Ember for like 3 months or 6 months, that would have given Ember a hell of a lot more agency than she has right now. Instead, this is just yet the latest misstep with Adrian Reese's career in NXT and WWE, and I feel so bad for her.
I feel bad for her to a point. I still think a lot of the damage is self-inflicted. We've discussed this, so we don't need to plow this ground again. She has been given no favors and has also earned no favors, if that makes sense. But we've been there, and we've been there. It's just something that we just disagree on.
That being said, I think it's very clear. Shayna Baszler's winning the title, and then and then we're going right to Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler, and Kairi will win the title at TakeOver Brooklyn 4.
Just get rid of that fucking pirate wheel.
Get rid of the pirate wheel. Get rid of the marching. Just
just get rid of it, man. Give me my Stardom Kairi back, please, and thank you.
Please bring the character that actually will be beloved.
Speaking of Stardom,
as a fucking
quick segue. You excited for Tennille Dashwood versus Mayu Iwatani? Because I think that's what we're getting at Ring of Honor.
Dude, if that's what
because I don't think you're bringing in Mayu Iwatani for a pre-show match to lose in a pre-show match.
I mean, I would be surprised simply because
I think she wins that match, and I think she loses to Tennille.
I would be surprised simply because Kelly Klein has been there in Women of Honor since day fucking one. Okay. And I think she's paid her dues enough that they might want to put her in the title match just to.
I think it'd be better. I think it'd be better for her in the long run to not lose the first night to Tennille Dashwood and then challenge her down the line for the May pay-per-view.
Yeah, and the other side of the
you have Mayu in the building. Yeah. You can't tell me that a Tennille Dashwood Mayu Iwatani match wouldn't be unbelievable.
Oh,
and it's not a great way to start your women's title match, your women's title lineage by having Tennille Dashwood win in a barn burner 14-minute match.
Yeah. And the flip side of the coin also is that if you did do Tennille versus Kelly Klein, it's heel versus heel, which is not a good way to start your title reign. So I hope it's Tennille versus Mayu because that's a dream match right there for me.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't think you fly Mayu Iwatani or you bring her into the show. I don't know what else is she doing Shimmer this weekend? I have no idea.
No.
So she's only coming to New Orleans for a pre-show?
Yeah, I don't think that they're doing that.
Like, I don't think that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, obviously, she'll work for anyone as long as her check clears. Like, so it's
she's smart. She's smart like that. Yeah,
it's not going to be like I must be on the main show.
Yeah,
but I think if you have her, You just throw her another booking fee and say, "Hey, you want to wrestle twice tonight?"
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'll be
here. You're in your gear. Like,
I'm keeping a hawkeye on freaking social media to see when we get the Kyrie and Mayu pictures on Instagram and Twitter. So, all right.
Back to NXT. Is that the other? Oh yeah, we have the main event.
Yeah.
Like
talk about the main event for a second. I need to get some more.
The I don't want to say like the underpushed main event. Andrade Almas and Zelina Vega versus Aleister Black. Aleister Black and his undefeated streak. Andrade Almas and his not undefeated streak, but his championship match. I wonder if it's a little too soon for Almas, but I guess better now than never. I think I would have had Gargano Almas here instead of on a random NXT taping, but that ship has sailed. We talked about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, but that is what it is.
This match should be very good. Very good. In fact, this match should be great. Right now, Almas has owned every inch of his character, including the in-ring, including everything. Mm-hmm. And Aleister Black, I don't like the gimmick at all. But once the bell rings, there's what's not to like, Yeah. Aleister Black is, to me, the male Ember Moon in that once the bell rings, my interest level increases exponentially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This match would be great. In fact, if this match is less than like 4 1/4, someone fucked up.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is going to be an excellent match, but I don't think that the streak ends here. I think Aleister wins the title, and Andrade goes up to the main roster.
To do what? Put him on SmackDown, feud with Nakamura right away?
I don't think that they put him in the main title scene right away, and I don't think that they put two guys whose English is passable at best. As the main title feud.
I'm assuming Zelina's going with him. I'm assuming they go up as a package deal.
This is true. Yeah. So Zelina's probably going with him, but either way, I think that they probably put him as a mid-card title challenger first, and then main title later. So
now my dad wants to pair Paul Heyman with Nakamura against Kevin Owens. I gotta take the phone away from him.
Oh God, he got some bad ideas. That's a bad idea. But yeah,
Paul on Tuesday against the best speaker, Kevin Owens.
Andrade showing up to SmackDown though, and being the first guy to take the U.S. strap off of whichever the losers wins it at Mania. I have no problem with that.
They're all losers.
Yeah, all 4 of those guys are geeks. So whoever takes that match, I would not mind Andrade being the first challenger to take the belt off of him. So let's do that. I'm all in for that.
If you're gonna bring a guy up, fucking push him. This is your NXT champion. He's one of the best wrestlers in the company. Don't mire him in mediocrity by having him wrestle Dolph Ziggler when Dolph takes 80% of the match. Or Baron Corbin. I don't need a Baron Corbin Andrade Almas program. I need it like I need a hole in the head, Chris.
Yeah, oh God.
Bring his ass up.
Talk about a
pair him with Randy Orton, jobber to the stars, and let's go. Let's go. Hammerlock DDT, 8 minutes, 1, 2, 3, on with our lives. So.
Yeah, Aleister as the main title holder.
I think you're right. I think Aleister wins this match, and then Andrade gets called up.
Aleister winning the main title, I think, is actually a really smart move because there's a lot of open ground there. Like, I talked about this.
We haven't had a face champion since Nakamura, right? Who am I forgetting? Oh, Drew McIntyre for like a month, right? Before he got hurt?
Yeah, McIntyre for a very short period of time.
And then before then, it was Nakamura, who lost in San Antonio a year and a half ago.
Nakamura lost it to Rude. Rude lost it to McIntyre. McIntyre lost it to Almas.
So we haven't had a face We haven't had a face champion. God, this is such a Triple H show. Heel champions galore, Man. It's easier to be a heel than a babyface these days.
But after TakeOver Philadelphia, when I went on my tirade about not liking the results of Gargano Almas from TakeOver Philadelphia, and I talked about the number of dudes who are like in the running for like main event status, like Aleister winning and Almas going up opens a lot of ground. So I would not be surprised for that to be, for Alistair to hold the belts for 4 months until Brooklyn, and then for us to see, I mean, it's unfortunate to say this, but for us to see Adam Cole, NXT champion, as our next NXT champion. Or hell, maybe Roddy Strong finally gets his redemption angle. Or shit, Killian Dane takes the throne of sanity and then takes the belt. Lars Sullivan's campaign of destruction bulldozes all the way up to Black. Ricochet shoots for the stars and actually gets there. Any number of things. There's so many ways you can go with Black as champion, and most of them will be great. Like, because we've already seen Black, put him in there with basically anybody. It's going to be a fucking awesome match. So.
There's a lot of avenues.
Yeah.
Once you have flipped the dynamic around to have a babyface champion.
Yeah. And let's also be clear about one thing. Like, Alistair is an in-ring promo, not great. Alistair is a pre-taped promo, though. That works.
Just leave the flannel at home. I don't think it suits him.
No, the watch the hype video that they put together for this match.
Okay.
I'm
gonna watch. Like I said, I'm gonna watch some NXT on the plane. So
the hype video that they put together for Black Albus is excellent. It's not as good as the Gargano Ciampa hype video, which is the best hype video that they've put together for any WWE match ever in the history of this company. But Almost Black.
I'm almost with you there. But the best hype video they've ever done is the one before WrestleMania 17's main event. It made a Limp Bizkit song good. So,
did you watch the Gargano Ciampa?
I did, and the My Way video is still better.
Your mileage may vary. I personally just can't stomach.
My problem with the Ciampa video is that this match makes no sense. We've talked about this last week. This match makes no sense. The man has been suspended from the company, fired from the brand. Why is he getting another shot?
Because William Regal has a soft spot for guys who want to prove themselves.
So you're destroying your stipulation just because?
You're destroying the stipulation of the...
So the stipulation against Almas didn't matter? The man put his career on the line, and he lost. Was he screwed? Absolutely.
Yes.
But he lost.
Yeah, but the fact that he was screwed means that he deserves the opportunity to prove that he should be given a chance to earn his way back under fair circumstances. That's the way I see it. And if you want to be talking about like ways that it doesn't make sense, the only way for me that it doesn't make sense and deserves to be vilified is if Gargano wins the match and then immediately gets catapulted up to a title shot, which I don't think they do. But, that's neither here nor there. We got title matches to talk about anyway. But, Black wins, and it's going to be awesome. So, moving over to WrestleMania.
There's like 400 title matches on this show.
Yeah. The U.S. title match, we've already established all four of these guys are geeks. I don't really care. I don't really care who wins.
This is my buy a t-shirt match.
Yeah.
And or buy another Hurricane match.
Yeah.
And or both.
Mm-hmm. Intercontinental title match, though. This should be significantly better. Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Seth and Finn Balor was a really great match on Monday Night Raw. Mm-hmm. Adding Miz will not make this a better match. Miz is a net neutral.
At best.
At best. He will not contribute a lot of positives to the match, but he also probably won't bring anything negative to the match. So it's a net neutral in terms of work rate. I mean, the character spots and, those little bits, those are good, but he doesn't bring a whole lot of work rate to the match. The only way that I see this match being outright bad, though, is if the Miz Stroud gets involved and it turns into a fuck finish. That's how the match will be outright bad. If that doesn't happen, then the match should be just fine.
Yeah, if they get involved early and the referee throws them out with the exaggerated arm motion that I love, that's fine.
Yeah.
Great. But if they're like involved in the finish, I'm good. I'm real good. Like I'm more than good, my friend. Who's winning this match?
I think Rollins wins it.
I say Finn, but I think the Miz is losing because I think we're getting Miz Roman right out of the gate after WrestleMania. I'm just
the God Emperor
I'm
beats
just saying,
the slime ball. I'm 100% on board with that.
Just saying, before the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Roman wins, and who's he going to feud with?
That's true. Yeah, you got to
like he's a Braun again. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was fun, but it was like 6 months long, and we saw it not that long ago.
Yes.
So I think the Miz drops the belt, and then he feuds with Roman for 2 pay-per-views, which will be fine.
Yeah,
they've had good matches in the past. So, nothing wrong with that.
Cruiserweights, what should easily be one of the best matches on the card for work rate fans.
Could be one of the best matches of the weekend if it's given enough time.
Absolutely.
I am so pulling for Mustafa Ali. I hope he wins so badly. He's like the perfect 2018 babyface.
Same. I will not complain if Cedric wins the match, but
I will complain if Cedric wins the match by cheating. I don't want a heel turn. I don't want a mid-match heel turn.
If they do it as a heel turn and turn Cedric into a shithead, then I will complain. But Mustafa is my guy. He's your guy too. He's our guy. Mustafa,
he's our guy. I love the guy. I'm so happy for him.
Mm-hmm. He's got it. He's got it where it counts.
And what is not breaking news at all? Will Ospreay and Era Fox was incredible. Breaking news that isn't.
Yeah. What I need to see is the highlights from Cassius Ohno Keith Lee from Access, because that happened about 3 hours ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah. Now, Madeline, I feel bad for Cedric too, because he got fucked by them bringing Enzo in. But that should have been his time, and instead they gave it to a shithead sex offender. But this is not his time. Maybe 2 months from now, after they give him a heel turn and get some development in there, maybe that'll be Cedric's time, and I'll be okay with that. But this is, if they really want to book WrestleMania the way that WrestleMania is supposed to be booked, which is supposed to be a triumphant face-heavy show, Mustafa Ali wins this match, and that's what I hope for. Yeah, Tanya's right. Cedric should have been the one to beat Neville for the title. That should have been a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but
so it goes. We can't fight the past, my friend.
Yes, you go to war with the army you got, not the one you want. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mustafa Ali should win this match, and
I hope he does, and I hope it's a clean match. I hope there's no mid-match heel shenanigans. You want to turn one of the guys heel on Tuesday? Great.
Yeah.
But I would not do it in the match. Just give me like 16 minutes of good, fun match.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want. I'm not asking for a lot. No rest holds. Give me a match that belongs in the best of the Super Juniors or something in that ilk.
Yeah.
I don't need any headlocks.
Something that you could slot in among the Cruiserweight Classic matches, and it would make sense. Yeah.
So,
Raw Tag Team titles.
Okay. Who's Braun's partner?
This is Braun and TBD. Well, seeing as how they just axed a giant fucking musical segment that was supposed to happen because they couldn't get The Rock.
Really? That's good. Maybe this card won't end at midnight now.
Yeah. They were supposed to do a giant musical segment surrounding Elias, but because they couldn't get The Rock in on a guarantee, they axed the whole thing. So maybe Elias is Braun's partner? I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Sure. Bray Wyatt, man. Get yourself ready. Get yourself. It's the only thing that makes storyline sense. Unless they bring in Samoa Joe, it's just like big angry guys who beat the crap out of each other after winning the tag team titles, which makes no storyline sense. The only thing that makes storyline sense is Bray Wyatt comes in, and then if the Bludgeon Brothers win on the other side, then the Wyatt family has all the tag team belts.
Ugh.
Bray Wyatt and his nasty-ass beard and his baby horses come in, and he's Braun Strowman's partner.
I don't want it.
Nobody wants it, but it makes storyline sense, man.
Ugh.
You know how I feel about the team. The team should always beat the 2 single stars. So if you bring in someone else to be Braun's partner just because it's cool, the Bar should beat them.
Yeah.
But then you've beaten Braun Strowman, which you shouldn't do.
Yeah. They've backed themselves into a corner.
Like,
here's Tanya with the most underwhelming suggestion of all.
Oh, what is it?
Big Cass.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about dudes who
Sure.
have literally nothing to offer. There you go, right there.
Okay.
Anyway, I think Braun,
I think Braun and partner win. I don't know who the partner will be. I hope it's Joe, even though it makes no storyline sense because I like Joe.
I'm all in for it to be Joe.
And that way at SummerSlam, they can break up and fight each other and you can get big old angry guy match, which I love. I love a good mean guy match.
Those are the best. Those are the best.
Good mean guy match.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I know. Yeah, Tanya, I know that Vince loves Cass, but
he does. And Vince loves Bray. What if we get Bray and Cass together forever?
Yeah, can we get them together forever on some like no-name indie fed out in West Virginia that I never have to hear about? Please.
Put them on like IWA Mid-South with Ian Rotten. The three. Actually, they don't. They're not bad guys. They're just bad wrestlers. Ian's a bad guy.
Yeah, Ian is genuinely shit humanity.
Yeah, Bray and Cass are not scumbags. They're just shitty wrestlers.
Yeah. Send him out to Columbus, Ohio. Stick him in Pro Wrestling Revolver, and then I never have to hear about him again.
But like Beyond, I don't have to care about them because they're all the way in New England.
Hey, New England is where I'm from, dude. I might if Beyond ever has a show that's good enough to merit me driving up and spending a weekend at my mom's house, and they've actually had a couple that I've considered driving up and spending the weekend at my mom's house just to see one of their shows, but I just have never pulled the trigger on it. But they tend to put together pretty damn good cards. So Beyond does some good shit. So don't send them to Beyond. I actually want to be invested in watching their stuff.
What's that promotion in Florida that runs at the nightclub with like the ferns?
Oh God.
Who the hell was that? That ran like outdoors at that weird nightclub with like the ferns and like the big trees.
Was it Wrestling?
Was that Shine? That wasn't Shine, was it?
No,
Shine's like the weird women's feeder group.
Yeah, Shine is the WWN women's.
Yeah, was that like? That wasn't AIW. No, because they're in Ohio. Send them there.
Yeah, send them to Florida.
Because Florida's got enough weird people anyway, so Bray Wyatt would fit right in.
Exactly. And Cass can go down there by the house that Ian Carmella used to have and pine about the fact that he lost his girlfriend in the middle of losing his career too.
Yeah, it's like
talk about a fucking bad confluence of events for a guy.
It's like the beginning of a bad country song.
Yeah, really.
So SmackDown tag team match.
Side, this should be amazing.
I think the Usos
versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers in a triple threat match.
Yep. Bludgeon Brothers gimmick is all sorts of stupid, but they can go.
And then they make.
I like the thing where they slap each other in the face as hard as they can, and then beat the crap out of people.
Yes,
I like that a lot.
That part works.
Like, where they like yell at each other and slap them in the face, and then like go to town on other guys. That's good stuff.
They're throwing each other down on top of guys when they're doing the
like doing splash where they like lift each other up.
Yeah. Like literally, it's like get rid of the hammers and you've got a fucking solid tag team right there.
Yeah, the hammers are so stupid.
The hammers are literally the dumbest part of the gimmick, but if you get rid of that, everything improves by leaps and bounds.
Well, I think the dumbest part of the gimmick is that they're so fake in a tag team division that's in a feud that's so real.
Yeah,
this is a blood feud between 5 dudes who are real and genuine and trying to prove that they are the best in the world and they belong on this card.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the mallet guys.
Yeah, the fucking the hammer dudes, Diet War Machine,
who are like straight out of like 1993.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
are they gonna feud with the Quebecers next?
Did you bring that up just because I mentioned Pierre last week?
One of them is on Joey Janela's.
Yeah, I brought that up. Yeah, that he's wrestling Walter on
Walter versus Pierre Ouellette.
Yeah,
I'm so bummed I'm not going to that show.
Yeah, but oh man,
who did Walter wrestle at Evolve just now? Some Japanese guy.
No,
I'm watching. I'm watching a GIF of them chopping the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, it was him and Thatcher versus
some big thick Jap fella.
Sekimoto and Sawa.
Oh yeah, because Sakamoto and Walter are just chopping the hell out of each other in this GIF, and I am so happy.
Yeah. It's like if the Shield actually carried shields. That's amazing.
They were going to, remember? You heard about that, right? They were like all go. They were going to carry like riot shields until the three of them were like, "Yeah, no, this is very dumb." You didn't know this story?
No, I didn't.
I swear to God, I read this in an interview. They were going to carry like actual riot shields to the ring, and then the three of them got the riot shields. And were like, "Yeah, this is not going to happen." Thank God.
Fuck, that's
how
amazing.
stupid would that have been?
Oh, that would have been the worst.
The Hammer Brothers fighting Mario.
Yeah.
You know? I used to hate those Hammer bitches in Mario 3.
Oh, God.
God, those bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about next women?
Well, who do you think wins?
The Usos, and I think they put over the Bludgeon Brothers in a one-on-one match at the next pay-per-view.
I'm in agreement. Yep. Yeah, but I think it'll be a good match, though. I think it'll be a really good tag match.
Oh, yeah. There are no bad matches on this card, with the exception of Nia and Alexa.
Yeah.
Which could be a disaster. If Nia and Alexa, that's a good segue. If Nia and Alexa goes more than like a minute and a half, then this match could be a shit show.
Yeah, let's just get the Raw Women's match out of the way right now. This
match could be bad.
This has got the makings to be a pretty bad matchup.
Either it's going to be Smoke and Mirror City, and then I got to watch Alexa. I got to watch Nia sell for Alexa, which, holy shit.
Yeah, please, God, no.
Like, if this match is like 45 seconds and Nia just is righteous fury and furious anger and just busts a cap in her ass, not literally, metaphorically, great. I love a good squash.
Yep.
If this match is literally Nia starts, the bell rings, Nia does the avalanche from the corner, picks her up and does the Samoan drop and kills her, this match will be good. If this match is anything else, this match will probably be pretty bad.
Yeah.
There'll be a Mickie James run in that nobody wants, and like this could be the worst match in the show, non-Battle Royal edition.
And as I said, as I've been saying, like every time Carmella fails to cash in a SmackDown Women's Title match, just makes me all the more convinced she's cashing in on the Raw match.
Every time Carmella fails to cash in, an Angel gets its wings.
Yeah. But I think that she's pulling a Rollins here, and that she's going to pin Alexa and win the Raw Women's Title, which would be a shitty end to the story, because this is the way that they've told the story. The story needs to end with Nia just murdering Alexa.
The story needs to end with Alexa's blood in the first 4 rows.
Yeah, and
like Lance Archer's water bottle.
You guys who are here watching, you know how ardently against Nia Jax we have been.
We are not Nia Jax fans.
For a very long time.
But we are also fans of good stories.
Yeah.
And the story they're telling is that the queen bitch gets slapped into the 5th row.
The shithead mean girl finally gets her comeuppance. That's the story that they need to tell.
Nia Jax is the agent of Nia Jax is Thor, agent of destruction.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
The righteous angel of retribution.
Yep.
Against the evildoers, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But if this match is more than a minute and a half, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah. I mean, and yes, of course there are,
I would honestly
there were infinitely better options that they could have gone with for this title. But guess what? You go to war with the army you got.
You know it. I would literally book this match to be 30 seconds.
Yeah. And
bell rings. Alexa tries the thing where she hides in the ropes. Get away from me, ref! Get away from me! Like Kevin Owens did with Goldberg before the bell rang, where he kept jumping out of the ring.
Yep.
I would do that, and then Nia Jax gets her hands on her, and then bye Alexa.
Yeah, just end it. End it
2 minutes in and out, and I think it's that much cooler if Nia just squashed like a bug. Because Alexa will get her heat back on Monday by cutting a promo.
Yep. Because
that's what good heels do.
That's what she does best.
Yeah. I don't need to see Nia selling. I don't need to see Alexa with the heat. Like, I'm good. Real good, man.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, let's talk about a match I really want to see.
Oh, yeah.
And let's talk about a match that I think should be the main event of the show. We talked about this a little bit earlier this week.
Yes.
My dad brought this up in one of his non-bad wrestling takes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we had a couple of bad ones tonight.
We had a few bad ones. He had some good ones, too.
This
He had some good ones, too. But he had bad ones. This is a good one. Put the Queen and Asuka as the main event of the show.
The Queen versus the Empress.
Queen versus the Empress. A, they've earned it, especially Asuka. And you know how I am a fan of earning your spot.
Yep.
B, if you're ever going to do a women's match that's the main event, this is it. And it's not patronizing because these two are awesome. You cannot tell me this will not be like a 4.5-star match if you give it time. Mm-hmm. You can't. I gave a Nia Jax Asuka match 4 flat for Monday Night Raw with commercial breaks. You can't tell me this was like 18 minutes. This would not be a 4.5-star match.
Easily.
Upper echelon WrestleMania main event.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, happy 32nd birthday to Charlotte today.
Charlotte, 32.
Celebrating her birthday today. Sunday gets to defend her belt in front of 80,000 people.
Good for her.
She's going to lose, but it's going to be a freaking awesome match.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's fine.
Cares?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it matters. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. It matters. It's time for her to lose. This has been a good feud. This will be a good match. Both women have done great work. I like Charlotte acting scared but trying to be tough at the same time. And I like Asuka as cool and calm and collected, but when the time comes, ready to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
I would put this match on last. You send the crowd home happy. Like, make a women's match the main event without feeling like you're pandering to the women's crowd. Because this could be the best match on the show. And I firmly believe that. If given time and booked well and nobody blows a knee out or gets a concussion, God forbid, this could be the best match on the show.
Yeah.
So.
But, you know.
But yeah, Charlotte's going to lose, but that's okay.
Yeah, that much is very clear.
Move her ass to Monday.
Yeah. Tanya, I recognize your point. You know, there's, the chat, Tanya, Matt, a lot of people saying it's, possible that this match also is a huge disappointment because Charlotte doesn't necessarily have the best track record when she's not working with the horsewomen. But I think that Asuka can certainly carry the same load that the rest of the horsewomen have. I think that will work.
Yes,
but
I would be bitterly disappointed in this match if it was not at least 4 flat.
Yeah.
Bitterly disappointed. Mm-hmm. And I am optimistic that it will meet that threshold.
Yeah.
So, Asuka's a fucking miracle worker. Mm-hmm. And Charlotte's no slouch.
Yeah.
So
Charlotte pulls her weight, and Asuka is one of the best in the world.
Yeah. Male or female.
Yeah. So.
And has been for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And is over as fuck.
Despite being 36 years old, she's still
a lot of miles.
And a lot
bad
of
knees and bad shoulders.
Yeah.
But she's over as fuck, and she's vicious, and she's mean, and people love her.
Kaneko Uri, you are an amazing human being.
Am I missing something here, Chris?
No.
Like, I don't know. But
yeah. Kaneko Uri is an amazing human being, and she's done amazing work, and I hope that she continues to have an amazing career for years.
Maybe this match opens.
Nah, I don't think so. They traditionally open with a shit fist of a match.
Yeah.
I think it's either going to be the U.S. title match or the SmackDown tag.
I think it'll be the SmackDown tag because that's the closest thing they have to the weird ladder match they open with usually.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Next
we have the men's main events, right? Am I forgetting something?
Yeah. About
we talked about the
championship match first. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now you talked about the Wrestle Kingdom match already as your match of the week. Let me just say, the build for this match has been the epitome of lazy writing because it essentially has been these two guys had a great match in Japan. This is going to be the rematch. Never mind the fact that 90% of you have never even seen or even heard about that match happening and have no context by which to measure it. Nope. That's just what you got. And dream match, yada, yada, yada. I think it's really a sad state of things for these two guys who are some of the best workers of their generation that they are going to be, in a match that, while it will be great, is not going to be one of the matches that gets like a highlight spot on Monday morning among people who are talking about WrestleMania. Like, people are going to be talking about Roman Brock. People are going to be talking about Daniel Bryan and Shane versus Kevin and Sami. People are going to be talking about Ronda Rousey's debut. Very few people, by comparison, will be talking about AJ Nakamura. And it sucks. But, that's WWE. They thought that, just by throwing the carrot to us hardcores, that would be enough. And I want more. I want them to give these guys a little bit more agency and give people who aren't the hardcores a genuine reason to care. And not everybody's going to be wowed by work rate. That's, wrestling is something for everybody. Unfortunately, not everybody is wowed by work rate. Some people want more character work, and some people want more of a story to get hooked into. There's been no story to get hooked into. Character work has been, I wouldn't say minimal, but it has definitely been lacking.
It feels kind of slapdash.
Yes. But regardless, the match will be great. For those of us watching who have the context and who have been fans of the guys.
I'd almost make this a sprint if I was putting it together. Instead of trying to go for like the 31-minute epic, I'd be like, guys, there's 14 minutes. Pack everything you can into those 14 minutes and don't stop.
Mm-hmm. And that's almost what they have to do, because asking AJ to work on a bum knee for that long.
I mean, the guy's a fucking warlock, but even he's human.
Yeah. It's going to be exposed if they want him to go more than like 20 minutes.
I'd go like 16 tops and sprint the shit out of this.
Yeah.
No filler, all killer.
Yeah. I'm right out the gate.
More Okada Omega 3, less Okada Omega 2.
Yeah.
So,
if you want comparison.
Who wins? Nakamura?
Oh, yeah. Nakamura wins the title.
Now,
AJ takes him off to rest his knee.
Yeah, AJ gets his knee all scoped out and whatever, 6 weeks, a month, whatever it is. Get well soon, AJ. Now, what do you do with Nakamura on Tuesday?
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn ambush him after they get their jobs back and try to take over the show. Nakamura.
Seems like we've done that.
Of course we've done that, but, SmackDown writing staff is about as lazy as a fucking three-toed sloth in the jungle. What do you want? This is what
I am asking for quite a bit.
Yeah, you're asking Road Dogg to get his head out of his cocaine stash and actually write something coherent. Your expectations might be a little high.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah, because they're not hot-shotting Nakamura DB.
No.
That's like if they do.
What would make me happier than a fucking pig in shit is after all this, Daniel Bryan gives the double bird and leaves in September anyways.
Yeah.
But I don't think a guy with 2 reality TV shows is going to bounce anytime in the near future.
No.
But whatever.
He's making fucking bank.
Good for him. He'll make bank anywhere he goes.
Yes.
You got to believe if he picks the phone, Kadani's giving him a 6-figure contract.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, I get it. Stay in America. Make paper, be on TV. Not like he spends money. The guy, have you seen like Total Bellas or whatever? He lives like in a Adobe.
Yeah,
these cars like older than you are, man. He drives like an '88 Corolla or whatever the fuck it is. It's not like he's hemorrhaging money. But hey,
outside of his wrestling ability, Daniel Bryan's a pretty weird and sometimes questionable.
Yeah, seriously, his car is like ancient. Which hey, God bless. I mean,
there's reports out there that he's also an anti-vaxxer, so it's like not so sure how I feel about this guy outside of the squared circle, but that is what it is. But yeah, I mean that'll be your SummerSlam.
He'll make money. He'll make money. My point is he'll make money anywhere he goes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it would make me so freaking happy if he realized that he was being jerked around by this quack doctor team just to pop a fucking buy rate and sell some tickets. And get a TV contract, and he gave him the old Austin double bird.
Mm.
But not my life. I'm not going to tell the man how to live his life.
Yeah.
So.
Main event. And this is the rightful main event. I don't care what anybody else says. This is the match that should be the main event of the show.
I'd still pick the women to it, but that's me.
No, I mean,
this match won't be very good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, this match.
Don't get me wrong. This match will be very, very good.
Yes.
This build has been way better than I thought it was going to be like a month ago.
And for those of you who are under a rock and don't know, we're talking about Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. This match will be this build has been far better than I thought it would have been. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this because remember I said on this show and I was like, I'm not thrilled about this right now. Roman came to play, Paul Heyman came to play, Brock Lesnar came to play.
Yeah.
Everybody came to play. So
let me just say that there were a couple of moments in this build where I really thought that things were going to go off the fucking rails here because
it had the potential to go off the cliff. You ain't wrong.
You had 3 weeks of Roman out there cutting some of the best promos of his entire fucking career, and getting in Paul Heyman's face, then getting in Vince's face, and taking no shit from anyone. And I was all there. I was like, yes, this is the fucking character I've been waiting for years now. This is exactly what I wanted. Then immediately the week that Brock comes back, he just annihilates Roman. And the second week that he comes back, Brock annihilates Roman. And I was like biting my nails.
Yeah, that's like Wrestling 101. The guy who's doing the job goes over in the build.
Well, I mean, for me, it was like I'm sitting there biting my nails thinking, oh, God, Vince, please don't try to bring back Underdog Roman again. Please don't try to bring back Underdog Roman. I don't want it.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants it. Nobody
wants that.
And then we had this week and all was right in the world again because 5 Superman punches. I mean, and Brock...
Like, and Wrestling 101, Brock stood tall because he's going to put the guy over at the pay-per-view. Great!
I like the subtlety of this moment so much because it was Roman standing tall with that belt after 5 Superman punches. Brock gets up, hits the F5, and then has to grab the belt and roll out of the ring as fast as he can because he's had his fucking head rocked and he doesn't know what the fuck to do. So, he eventually gets his Brock smile back on and is he gets his bravado back, but in that moment, after he hits that F5, the escape from the ring, that was some great subtlety.
You know what the problem is with Roman Reigns? You know the problem with Roman Reigns is? He's too good at selling.
Yep, there it is.
So they say, wow, you're really good at this. Why don't you have you do this over and over again? Mm-hmm. Not realizing that what makes him so good at it is that he should do it sparingly to give it impact.
Yeah.
We've talked about Brock Lesnar being awesome at selling because he never does it. Mm-hmm. So when he does it, it's like, holy shit, this is a big deal. If Brock Lesnar was selling every week, it would not be a big deal when he does sell.
That's what made...
Roman Reigns is too fucking good at it.
That's what made the Mania 31
He needs to be less good at it. It's like almost astonishing to me.
That's what made the Mania
Roman sandbag or something.
That's what made the Mania 31 match special, though, was like when Roman started his comeback and he started beating the shit out of Lesnar, and Lesnar was staggering on the ropes, barely able to sleep. He was getting
so awesome.
Head rocked. Like that was what made that match amazing.
I'm bummed that I will not be. I am bummed.
Solid to incredible.
I am bummed that I will not be close enough to the ring and or close enough to a TV to see these two guys' facial expressions this match.
Yeah.
So, because they were unbelievable at Mania 31, both of them. Yeah. And I talked about this last week.
Yes.
So I'm bummed that I will be, and I'll probably be fucking lit by the time, because this is going to be like hour 9 of whatever the hell the show is. And I'm going to pregame beforehand because I'll be in New Orleans. So I'm probably going to be like, this show is so long, I will be go from drunk to sober to drunk to sober to drunk again. You know? It's like that long that I can come down and go back up like twice. You know?
Yeah.
So, but what are you going to do? This match will be great. This match will be great. I will never say there is a 0% chance because WWE is run by a septuagenarian who changes his mind at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say there's a 0% chance Brock Lesnar wins. There is a 1% chance Brock Lesnar wins this match. And that 1% is only because Vince McMahon is a capricious septuagenarian who changes his mind at the drop of a hat. Like, you know. And after we got fucking burned at Wrestle Kingdom, Chris, when everyone said there's a 100% chance that Tsuruta Naito is going to win, and he fucking didn't. Mm-hmm. I am hedging my bet by that 1%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The one bet, once bitten, twice shy. So there is a 1% chance Brock Lesnar loses this match, or wins this match, excuse me.
Yeah.
100%. Only because Vince McMahon is capricious, and I don't want to, I want to hedge my bets even a slight bit amount. So.
Yeah, but
doesn't matter. I mean, look, the outcome is a foregone conclusion. It doesn't mean the match isn't going to be great.
Yeah.
And you know what? If the crowd don't like it, fuck them. If the crowd likes it, fuck them. It don't matter. We're at the post reaction state of this now.
Yeah.
Either you like them. Everyone's in their fucking corners. Either you like Roman Reigns, you don't like Roman Reigns, but it doesn't matter. He don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I wish a huge percentage of his fans felt the same way, because the man clearly don't give a shit as long as the check clears.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect mentality to have, right?
Yep.
Because what's the two things that matter most in this business, Chris? The miles and the money.
Mm-hmm. I like that he's been doing that, Madeline, FYI, saying that the part-timers need to go so that the full-timers can be the stars of WrestleMania. He's absolutely right.
Ain't wrong, but that's an uphill battle, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that 10 years from now, when he's the part-timer,
Well, I mean, with the way that he performs, I'm sure he could still be a full-timer, because he doesn't. I mean, apart from the freaking hernia, the dude and the freak fucking virus or whatever.
Yeah, that was like the weird virus thing.
Dude doesn't get hurt.
I'm saying, well, he'll be what? He's what, 32?
Yeah.
31, right?
He's 32 or 33, yeah.
Okay. Well, 10 years from now, he'll be in the winding down phase of his career.
Yeah.
Assuming something tragic does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid he gets a car wreck or something,
Yeah.
Should be a disaster. Magnum TA style, God forbid.
Yeah, so, please, dear God, let's not have that.
No, God, 1,000 times, God forbid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will be in the building for this, and I am fucking stoked. Yeah. This match should be unbelievable.
Yeah.
This atmosphere should be unbelievable.
Yep.
I just hope that the crowd is not burned out from, 8 hours of this shit.
I hope the crowd is not being assholes. Like, I mean, if you want to boo the guy, fine, but don't be fucking.
I think we're gonna get what we got last year, a crowd that was dead. Whatever. The crowd was dead for the Triple H shit, except for the end too. But that match was no damn good, so I don't really blame them.
Yeah.
This match should be good. This match should be real good, and it should be nice and quick and fun, and two big dudes just beating the shit out of each other, which I always love.
Yep. And
anything else?
We move on from there.
And the big old wheel keeps on turning, man.
Yep.
Who does Roman Reigns feud with after WrestleMania?
I think you were right to say The Miz.
I think The Miz is a good placeholder feud.
Reasonable thing to pass the time until we get to the draft.
Yeah.
I also could see him, whoever the other guy is that doesn't win the IC title match, can also feud against them, which is why I say Rollins wins it, because I could see them running a Roman Balor feud.
I think Miz first.
I think Miz first seems reasonable as well.
Yeah.
But
and then we get the draft, and then God knows what happens.
Yep.
Who knows? Who knows who gets sent over? Who knows who gets brought up? Who knows what? Maybe they break the bar up and he feuds with Sheamus. I don't know. God, I'm not saying it should. I'm just saying. I'm saying things can happen.
Yes, things can happen. Yes.
Hey, I saw an unbelievable Roman Sheamus match at a house show. So
yes, that was before.
Speaking of two big dudes beating the shit out of each other for my amusement.
Yeah. That was before they discovered just how fucked Sheamus's neck is, though.
Yeah, true. So I'll never be upset to see Roman Sheamus just wailing at each other with weapons.
Yeah,
that was a fun match. That was a fun match. Those two guys just smacking the shit out of each other with kendo sticks and chairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Good point, Madeline. Drew McIntyre is coming back soon. How about that? Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. That's a feud that would be a lot of fun.
Sure. Yeah, again, two big guys beating each other up.
Yeah, two big dudes beating the shit out of each other.
As much as I like the flippy boys now and again, my lizard brain likes watching big men just beat each other up.
Yeah.
So
Drew Gulak hitting a Claymore on Roman and Roman just rebounding back to Superman punch him in the face. That's
Drew McIntyre, not Drew Gulak.
Drew McIntyre. Yeah. Drew McIntyre hitting the Claymore on Roman and then Roman rebounding back to the Superman punch on him. That's a spot.
Both men collapsing. That's a great spot.
That would be a spot I'd pay to see. Yeah,
it'd be fun. Mm-hmm. So, you got anything else, my friend?
Support everybody that is performing this weekend to the best of your ability. There's a ton of stuff being live streamed out there. We talked about a lot of indie shows that are happening on last week's show. If those hold your interest, please buy the shows. Don't get illegal streams. Don't steal from these guys.
No, they're
trying to earn their paychecks. That's my message. And don't be assholes at the Raw and the SmackDown after Mania.
Yeah, just don't be assholes in general. Yep. I know we're asking a lot though.
Yeah, and then start counting down the days because next year, Two Guys One Sport live from my apartment. Mm-hmm. Turn the webcam on and it'll be the two of us side by side. We'll try not to come to blows over our opinions.
No, it'll be the two of us in a big plate of Chinese food. It'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time. But yeah, start counting down for next year. In the meantime, please support all our fellow wrestling podcast superstars who are also well worthy of your time and attention. Wednesday Night Shooting with Tiny Rogers and Andrew M. Swift. Follow them on YouTube. Follow them on Twitter. It is must listen wrestling radio. These two are some of the best. And if you're not listening to Wednesday Night Shooting, you're missing out on some amazing quality content. And I'm not just saying that because Tanya's in the chat. They do good work regardless of whether Tanya's here or not. Tanya, watch out for those tornado warnings. I remember from last week's show that was pretty scary. So please, no more tornado warnings in the middle of the show. Hopefully, Philip Dawson with the Dawson Report on Fridays now. He actually tweeted at us earlier that I freaking never got a chance to check because it's just been hectic chaos over here in Chris Land with moving into my new apartment. But the Dawson Report happening on Fridays on YouTube. You can follow him on Twitter as well at Philip Bexman to get the scoop on what's going on with the Dawson Report. And since I forget to do these plugs all the right way every time. Tiny Riders you can follow on Twitter at Militia Malice Joe. And then Andrew M. Swift you can follow on Twitter at Andrew M. Swift, shockingly enough. Saturday mornings, Shooting Debris with our friends TakeOver New Orleans and Mr. Dr. Senju with all of your excellent wrestling content over your Saturday morning breakfast, 11 Eastern, 10 Central. You can follow them at Shooting Debris 1. No E in
I don't mean to cut you off, but I think Elias is playing right now at a club in New Orleans. There's like Instagram pictures of him like in a nightclub playing his guitar. I love wrestling. I want to get drunk and walk with Elias.
That's so 2018.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Follow them on Twitter at Shooting Breeze 1. That's Shooting BREEZ 1. You can also follow them at Takers_Meaning and at MRDR Senju, MRDRSENJU, to get all the scoop on Shooting Debris. Also our friends, the Married Marks at Married Marks, Facelock Feministas at Facelock Fems, and Not Your Demographic at Not Your Demo Pod, to find them on all major podcasting syndication networks. If you are familiar with any good quality wrestling podcast that you would like us to promote on our show, please send their information our way, and we will definitely get the word out there. Oh, yeah, and of course, how could I freaking forget? Don Sal with Match Fixing. Bridge Media. I completely spaced because I'm just that bad right now.
We love you.
Just check out Don Sal at Kutsumano_Sal and Cedar Bridge Media at Cedar_Bridge to get the scoop on Match Fixing, which comes out fairly regularly. I know the last episode, Tanya Rogers was a guest, and it was quite excellent. So be sure to check that out as well. You can follow us on Twitter at 2guys1sport, number 2, number 1 in the handle. Also, follow our personal Twitters if you are interested in all of our insane ramblings. Follow George at G@Savas and follow me at CrazyChris576. And in the description of the video, you can find the link to our iTunes channel You can subscribe, give us a rating, give us a recommendation, and of course, as always, let all of your fellow wrestling friends know to come by and hang out with us on Thursday nights, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, because we love having all of you in the chat. We love interacting with all of you. You make the show as great as it is, and we thank you for being here every week, week in and week out. Episode 57 coming up next week. We'll have our full WrestleMania recap. We'll talk about whatever stuff happens that's of note at WrestleMania, TakeOver, Supercard of Honor, WWN, live show, Shimmer.
Maybe I'll get up, be hungover, and go to Pancakes and Pile Drivers Saturday morning. Who the hell knows?
All the significant happenings that are worthy of coverage, we will be recapping. It's going to be Recap Central here next week on Two Guys One Sports.
My wacky ass adventures in New Orleans. My buddy and I may be doing like the swamp tour, like in the fan boats. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Watch out for water pigs. Like I watched Sonya Deville's Instagram story today. They went out on one of those like boat tours where you're supposed to find gators.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking about.
Instead, they wound up in the middle of the swamp where they were surrounded by fucking water pigs.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
I mean, they weren't like aggressive or anything. They were quite docile creatures.
Fucking pigs! I want to see around my plate with a side of scrambled eggs and some hash browns. I want the fucking water pigs, man.
With apologies to all vegetarians and vegans listening to our show.
Yeah. Shitload of Tabasco. That's what I want. See pigs.
Take us out, my friend.
As always, a sincere thank you for hanging out with us on this Thursday. Thank you for listening. 1, don't work yourself into a shoot. It's just wrestling. And 2, be good to each other. The world's a shitty place, but only because we let it be a shitty place. Everyone enjoy WrestleMania, enjoy the Indies, enjoy Ring of Honor, NXT, everything else. We will talk to you again 1 week from tonight. Thank you for listening.
Episode 56 is in the books.